Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to another episode of the F1 2022 My Team series here on the channel. First off, to start this episode, I need to apologise. I've not uploaded in about a week. I've just been very busy last week. I had my graduation with university and other stuff got in the way. But we are back with the uploads, and I'm going to try and get consistent again with this series, hopefully doing 3 uploads a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that is the upload schedule if you are looking for it. Obviously, last race in Great Britain, if you didn't see it, go and check it out. It was a bit of a stinker from a strategy call from me, but you know what I mean, it's one of them, you take risks and you gamble, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Our gearbox showing a bit of wear there, 58%, we're definitely going to have to replace that soon. Getting into the Austrian Grand Prix today. Trust me, you can probably tell by the title, this one is crazy. Make sure you stay tuned till the end of the race. It's a sprint race in this one as well, so we've got the sprint and the feature race. So stay tuned till the end of the video to see what happens in this one. It's absolutely wild. And getting into it, you can see there, mixed weather for the sprint race, starting off sunny, going a bit rainy towards the end, and then back to sunny. How is this going to affect us in the race? Will people have to make a pit stop in the sprint race? Will it be too heavy, the rain, to carry on? Who knows? Let's find out. Like and subscribe on the channel if you have not already. We're on the road to 1k subscribers. Just hit 800 subscribers the other day. I was going to say 800,000. I wish it was 800,000. Just hit 800 subscribers the other day, so I appreciate all the support on that. On the road to 1k. Let's get it before the end of the year, hopefully. And then the content can even be even better for you as we can level up after that. Get into qualifying. I pretty much just skipped over the whole qualifying session. You can see us down in P22. I kept invalidating the lap. And if you don't know what invalidation means, the white lines on the edge of the curbs, that is the limit of the track. If you go past the white line, then you have infringed track limits and you've gone outside the track, and then your track time gets wiped. As you can see, it downhill braking zone into this right-hander, and then we go across the white line, get an invalidation. That one was so close, and it was annoying because we were 5/10 up on our lap as well. Well, obviously it was a trash lap anyway because he was in P22, but still improving. But yeah, we can't set a good enough lap in Q1 there. Kevin Magnussen, 5-place grid penalty. We'll check that out in a moment. But yeah, you see us starting P22. Our teammate Oscar Piastri P20. So obviously our car not really suited for this track, and I said that last episode. I wasn't looking forward to this. There's Kevin Magnussen. He got a penalty for illegal blocking. Don't know who that was on or what he did, but illegal blocking from Kevin Magnussen there. So he's taking a 5th place. It won't affect us, of course. But let's get into the sprint race. See if we can improve our starting position.
This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Sergio Perez, and Russell, Norris, Magnussen, Ricciardo, and Esteban Ocon, Joe, Mick Schumacher, Yuki Tsunoda and Vettel, Albon, Gasly, Nicholas Latifi and Valtteri Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Stroll and the owner-driver. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
Let's get it then, all to play for in this sprint race. If you don't know how the sprint race format works, wherever we finish in this race, we will start on the grid for the next race. Obviously still the same weekend in Austria, but it is lights out and away we go. Starting from the back of the grid, like I say, everyone on those medium tyres. It's only 12 laps. That is why it's called a sprint race. It's only very short. Looking up the inside for turn 1. Can we make a move on someone up the inside there? No, we can't. We got on the curb, unsettling the car. Massive yellow sausage curb on that inside there. Really just scrapes along the floor of the car, unsettles you. You have no traction on the exit and up the hill now into turn 3. Can we send one from downtown up the inside? There's a lot of debris and a yellow flag and contact with Sebastian Vettel. We just couldn't slow down there. Nicholas Latifi out of the session. Oscar Piastri out of the session. 5-second penalty for us. Fernando Alonso out of the session as well, and a safety car deployed. What a start to this sprint race here in Austria. Some debris flying across the track there into turn 1. Someone has lost a piece of the front wing. And then on the run down to turn 3, by the way, that little kink on this straight here, they call turn 2, which is ridiculous. So this heavy braking zone is called turn 3. And just look at the debris. Lance Stroll pulls out as we try and send one from downtown. So then we have to obviously take evasive action, which sent us flying into Sebastian Vettel. Of course, 5-second penalty for that. That's Latifi into the back of his teammate, Alex Albon, just completely losing his front wing there, or his front tyre. And then Latifi kicks Oscar Piastri. I've never seen a car kick before, but Latifi has just kicked our teammate. And then there's Alonso in the back getting caught up in it. What a chaotic start to this Grand Prix in this sprint race. But we have a 5-second penalty, a damaged front wing. The safety car is out, so we are going to be able to come in, save our penalty and change the front wing and not lose too much time because of the safety car. We're up into P16, boys. We went from P22 to P16. That's absolutely crazy. Valtteri Bottas behind us, probably going to lose some time in the pits here. Of course, Bottas will overtake because we will have a 5-second penalty, but Vettel into the pits, Schumacher into the pits. Bottas was the man through turn 1 who lost a piece of his front wing, so he's getting a new front wing put on. Will we come out ahead of Bottas too with this 5-second penalty? I doubt it. There goes Schumacher. Bottas and Vettel too, they're gone. But 3 DNFs on this race. With like 10 laps to go. It's a sprint race as well, so like what is even going to happen here? We get new medium tyres put on as well. I think we did anyway, but got a new front wing, so we're back to basically square one, back to the start. Just need to get these tyres up to temperature. You see the gearbox there on the MFD in the bottom right showing a bit of wear. It's got that little orange icon to show that there is a part of the engine worn. But with those 3 DNFs, obviously where we finish this race, we start the next race in that position. So we're guaranteed at least P19 on the grid, which is still a good starting position, you know. It's better than P22. It's probably what I would have got in qualifying if I could actually set a lap anyway. So let's see. Or can we make a move on Bottas or somebody down into turn 1? Bottas, I'm expecting that Alfa Romeo to be a lot faster than ours as we nearly dropped the car under the safety car trying to heat the tyres up. Who are we? George Russell. Who are we? Romain Grosjean. No, we're not. Let's get going. It's green flags. We are racing again. We get a bad jump on the restart there. Bottas miles ahead into turn 1. He's going to be 6/10 ahead up into turn 1, but a lot of people are going to be trying to make moves on each other. Can we capitalise on that? Again, up into turn 3. Will there be any contact? Will we be able to send one from downtown again and make up a few places? We are miles away from Bottas, using a lot of our batteries to try and catch up. There goes Bottas on Sebastian Vettel and Mick Schumacher. Double overtake for Valtteri Bottas as we try and go around the outside of Sebastian Vettel. Get unsettled there, bouncing over the sausage curb, losing a lot of traction, a lot of grip on the outside. But Bottas, what a move from him. He's up in front of Mick Schumacher now. Into the downhill braking zone, they're still fighting, and now Vettel wants to join in as we outbrake ourselves there into the downhill zone. But yeah, Bottas now ahead of Mick Schumacher. Lap 5, Carlos Sainz comes into the pits. He's on soft tyres. Don't know what he's thinking starting this sprint race on soft tyres, but he's into the pits. So we gain a place there on Carlos Sainz, but that Ferrari is a ridiculous machine on this game. So will Carlos be able to gain that time back that he's lost in the pits? Because obviously nobody else is going to stop. As long as he don't take damage. Will Carlos be able to make that time back with DRS active now as well? He's 14 seconds behind. Can he make up 14 seconds in 6 laps? That would be some doing, but he's in a Ferrari and it's Carlos Sainz, and we're driving a literal track there right now, so maybe anything is possible. We're trying to keep up with Mick Schumacher, stay in that DRS range, and as you can see at the end of lap 6 we don't have it. 1.2 seconds ahead he is, but so many cars ahead there looking to make moves on each other. You can see them going 2 wide up the hill into turn 1. It's almost 3 wide into turn 1, and there's a lot of cars going on here. I don't even know what's happening, but look at that jump we get through turn 1. Schumacher slow, Lance Stroll slow, Vettel in front with somebody else in front who've just made a move on each other. Max Verstappen in the pits as well onto soft tyres. What's he thinking from downtown? Can we send one on Schumacher? No, we can't, but we are going to have DRS now because all of those cars trying to overtake each other slowed each other down. We're going to have DRS on Schumacher downhill. Carlos Sainz still 10 seconds behind. Max Verstappen now behind us. We gained another place. We're in P14. Who'd have thought we were up from P22 into P14? We've nearly made up 10 places. Here's a replay of that through turn 1. 4 wide they were almost, and Look at, oh, there's contact between Zhou and Yuki Tsunoda. That is not good for the AlphaTauri. He's definitely took some damage there on that front wing. Maybe even Zhou has taken damage on the front wing. They might have to pit the two of them and up the hill into turn 3. They're going too wide again. Around the outside, Yuki Tsunoda, he's ahead of the Alfa Romeo. That's absolute chaos up front in that little pack ahead of us there. But again, we lose that DRS to the car in front, which is going to be Lance Stroll this time, and he gets 3 seconds ahead. And now we're just cruising, running our own race. That gearbox picking up some wear again, which is unfortunate because we do have another race to go. Carlos Sainz now has closed that gap with only 2 laps left here in this sprint race. Carlos Sainz has closed the gap to 5/10 behind. Max Verstappen only 2 seconds behind as well with the fastest lap of the race. It's looking not good, let's just say that. Lance Stroll 4 seconds ahead. We're not going to catch him. And there goes Sainz on the outside, but a huge lock-up for Carlos Sainz into that braking zone. And he has locked his front tyre there, trying to turn him under braking. He goes off, and we manage to stay ahead of Carlos for the time being. Can we finish this sprint race ahead of the Ferrari and the Red Bull? Now Verstappen has come to join us as we were fighting each other. Verstappen made up that time, and with 2 laps to go here, we're getting chased down by the 2 fastest cars on the grid. It's not what we like to see. Carlos Sainz up the inside now. He's going to make that pass, and so does Max Verstappen. Verstappen pushes us wide through that corner. An actual great overtake from both drivers there as we understeered completely wide and missed that apex. Double overtake, it's proper disheartening when you're driving and get double overtaken like that. But it's the 2 fastest cars on the grid as we go off the track, making those 2 look like pros, or those 2 making me look like a novice more like. Yeah, so it's the start lap 11. No threat from behind, no threat to the cars in front. Verstappen chasing down Sainz here, trying to make a move. He's got DRS into turn 3. Can he make that move? Is he going to send it up the inside? Max Verstappen. Let's see, what's he going to do? Late on the brakes. Who's going to be later? It's Sainz. And there's a bit of contact to Verstappen's front wing there as Sainz turns in. Somebody's off the track. That looked like the Haas of Mick Schumacher as we outbrake ourselves and we go off the track ourselves. It is Mick Schumacher. And Schumacher, instead of rejoining the track ahead of us, he lets us overtake. Here's what happened to Schumacher through turn 3, and the back end just kicks out, bouncing over that curb. That probably damaged the under tray of the car. That's a big... well, not really a big impact, but to spin like that over that curb, definitely going to cause some sort of bounce, and you can see his car bouncing over the curb there. Very unforgiving section of the track, so easy to lose the back end as you've just seen from Schumacher, but that gives us another place because Schumacher has of course lost his place because he spun out and we overtook him. But Verstappen into the pits on a lap 11. There's 1 lap left in this sprint race. We're on the final lap now, lap 12 for 12. Verstappen into the pit. He must have taken damage to that front wing while battling Carlos Sainz. Don't know why he wouldn't just stay out and finish the race. There's 1 lap left. Surely he can finish the race with a damaged wing. But yeah, so we gain another place, and now Daniel Ricciardo has caught up to us right as we get to the checkered flag, but Ricciardo wobbled on the exit there. Don't know if you've seen that, and we crossed the line. What a sprint race that is. And we're going to be P14 on the grid for the full race, which is absolutely fantastic. We're up from P22, which means driver of the day. Yes sir, yes sir, driver of the day. We got it in Canada 2 races ago for the actual race. Now we get it here for the sprint race, and you can see our teammate, of course, Oscar Piastri. He didn't even finish because he went out in lap 1. Turn 3, hopefully he can have a better race. Boom. Starting P14, we do have Max Verstappen behind us in P19 in a Red Bull. I'm expecting him to catch up and overtake us very easy. But hopefully we're looking around, and Carlos Sainz in front in P13. We're not going to catch him. If we could stay P14 by the end of this race, it would be a good result for the team. Let's get to it and see where we finish.
Welcome from the beautiful Styrian Mountains for another chapter in the story of the Austrian Grand Prix. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Ocon, Pierre Gasly and Bottas, Magnussen, Vettel, Albon and Lance Stroll. Sainz, the owner-driver, Daniel Ricciardo and Russell. Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, Guan Yu Zhou and Max Verstappen. Latifi, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. Let's discuss Red Bull. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
There we have it then. Grid penalties for the two Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, means we actually start P12 in this race. Can we get points? Could we get 2-point finishes in the last 3 races? That would be huge. I did consider the 2-stop strategy here in Austria, starting on the soft tyres, but we decided to go with the 1-stop after learning from a mistake in Silverstone last time out. But it is 5 red lights and it is lights out and away we go. We get off to an okay start, but there's someone coming from behind and everyone's coming from behind. George Russell, the car behind us. We cover that inside line completely. Up the inside, someone's locked up. Carlos Sainz locking up. There goes Mick Schumacher, sender one, pushing us over that curve, losing traction again on the run down to turn 3. Somebody in our slipstream there. It's going to be Nicholas Latifi. We've lost 2 places off the start. Daniel Ricciardo and Mick Schumacher getting ahead of us there. Down to turn 3, we have to take evasive action. Can we get the car slowed? And yet there's a bit of contact there with Alex Albon as he bounces over the curb. But Daniel Ricciardo pulling out there, making us go over the curb. We have to take evasive action to not slam into the back of Ricciardo as we tried to send one from downtown up the inside of turn 3. Now up the inside of Alex Albon into the downhill braking zone. Look at the traction he has on the outside there compared to us up the inside. But we'll back up into P11, making up a lot of places up in that turn 3 braking zone there. Alex Albon, the car in front. Sebastian Vettel up in P8 in that stinker of a green tractor, which is the Aston Martin. Can we catch up to him? He's not going to be very fast. There's definitely slow cars ahead of us. Even Esteban Ocon in P5. Valtteri Bottas up to P4 and Lando Norris in P3. What a start to this race here in Austria as 2 cars go too wide behind us coming through the final corner to end lap 1 of this race. There's a massive train of cars behind us there, as you can see. So many people looking to make moves on each other. George Russell in P14 looking to make a move up into P13 past Mick Schumacher. He's done it. Down into turn 3 again. Sainz up the inside of Vettel. There's a bit of contact, I think, between the 2 cars there. The ex-Ferrari man Vettel and the current Ferrari man Sainz. Sainz gets his elbows out. He's looking to make a move, and we look to make a move on Alex Albon again into that braking zone. This time we're around the outside. Albon up the inside, contact between Sainz and Vettel in front, almost contact between us and Albon. We stay behind Albon for the time being, but it looks like only a matter of time until we can take the Williams car as we massively miss that apex there, going wide, trying to catch up to Alex Albon, staying in his turbulent wind coming off the back of his car. A bit hard to follow through that section there, but managing to do it. Vettel in front, Vettel pulling out as Albon looks to make a move and they almost contact. Vettel goes into the pits. Albon up the inside into the final corner past Alex Albon. There's a yellow flag. I don't know what's going on. Albon off the track. It's green flag. We go racing again and we are ahead. The DRS is enabled this lap. Sebastian Vettel came into the pits. This is what the yellow flag was for. It was actually ahead of us on the track. One of the Haas cars, the engine has gone. So no overtaking into turn 1, even if Albon catches us with that DRS, you can see, into turn 1 now, but he goes for it. The track must have been cleared. Albon up the inside into turn 1. We get the switchback on him though. We set him up very nicely indeed to get that switchback. Here comes George Russell now in that fast Mercedes. He's looking to get involved. Albon still ahead into turn 3. Who can go later on the brakes as we go up the inside? Is almost contact. Albon wide again, bouncing over the curb, and we managed to get ahead of Alex Albon. We're up into P8 right now. What a great position to be in. That is major points for the team if we can finish there. Obviously, like I say though, fast cars behind us. George Russell, Max Verstappen still behind us as we get out of shape and onto the grass there. Albon looking to send one back on us now that we've made a mistake. Can he try and make something? It's very hard to overtake on this section of the track here, even though we got double overtaken in the sprint race by Sainz and Verstappen. That was only because we missed an apex. But there's a yellow flag again. George Russell behind us. Where's Alex Albon gone? Albon has he been sent to the shadow realm? Let's check that out. George Russell goes ahead of Alex Albon. George Russell getting a bit unsettled on the curb there. Here goes Albon round the corner, losing his back end, correcting that oversteer, and then he just turns into the gravel. A very weird moment there for Albon. Could have carried on driving across the grass. I don't know why he turned into the gravel. But yeah, anyway, he turns into the gravel. We missed the final apex there, which opens the door for George Russell. I let him pass. I don't let him pass. I made a mistake. But he goes past. He would have went past anyway, let's be honest. He's in a rapid Mercedes compared to our little shitbox that we're driving. Pardon my French. I don't normally swear in the F1 videos. But yeah, opening that rear wing of the DRS now on George Russell. On the run down to turn 3. Like I say, this is not our race. Don't really need to get racy with George Russell, but we're going to anyway. As a massive lock-up for George Russell opens the door for us to make a move down the inside. We have DRS for the next straight as well, but look at the speed of that Mercedes, that recovery speed after the lock-up. He's still managing to push ahead. We use a lot of battery there, deep into the braking zone, downhill, covering off that apex. Round the outside, George Russell still looking to make a move, but we are ahead of Russell as Lance Stroll looks to get involved in the action now in that Aston Martin in P10. Aston Martin running in, I was going to say double points, but they weren't, because Sebastian Vettel is pit for a new front wing. That contact before with Carlos Sainz means Sebastian Vettel is down in P20 now. Unlucky for that Aston Martin team. They were on for a good finish and chance at double points there, but it is not meant to be, or is it? Who knows? Max Verstappen down in P14. He's getting overtaken by Nicholas Latifi at the moment. That is not something I ever thought I'd say. Max Verstappen getting overtaken by Nicholas Latifi. What? But coming through now up into turn 3 again, probably the easiest overtaking spot on this track. Massive straight, bit of a kink, but you don't really count it as a corner. But DRS the whole way for George Russell. We're still ahead into the braking zone. He's going to have another chance to overtake down the hill now with that second or third DRS point, if you want to call it that. And down there you go. You can see that rear view is George Russell. Get close enough to make a move down the inside. He pulls out and he looks for it down the inside into the braking zone. We did leave the door completely open there, and George Russell gets ahead into that braking zone, unfortunately. And now Lance Stroll looking to try and catch us as well. He's going to have DRS. Can we stick within Russell's DRS range? Through the last corner, a bit shaky coming out of it. We are going to have DRS down the main straight. So is Stroll though. Daniel Ricciardo in P11, he comes into the pits. That's an early pit stop for Ricciardo. I wonder if he took some damage as well. A lot of people taking damage in this race, even in the sprint. I don't know what's wrong with the AI this year on this track, but yeah, you can see Russell there miles ahead of us now, and we don't have DRS down this straight. Max Verstappen has just appeared in the top left in P11. That's not what we like to see. Lance Stroll catching us down this straight with his DRS open, and we get out of shape and over the curve there. Look at the loss of traction, and Lance Stroll manages to get past us so easily after another mistake from us. We can't keep making mistakes if we want to get points in this season. We're in the last point spot now, P11 now. Well, we were in P10. Max Verstappen overtook us off camera. I didn't include that because it was just inevitable. And there goes Lewis Hamilton up the inside through turn 1. Who's going to have the better launch? It's going to be us. There's Zhou Guanyu behind him as well. Zhou Guanyu, a driver I like to stay away from on the racetrack, because the guy's a lunatic in this game. He will absolutely send you to the Shadow Realm and send you to the Gulag. But there goes Zhou trying to make a move on Hamilton. Who's going to come out ahead of that battle there? Hopefully that they cost each other time though, and then obviously don't overtake us. Lance Stroll in P10, the final point spot though, 4 seconds ahead of us. Once we lost them point spots, we just couldn't get it back. And Lewis Hamilton there ahead of Zhou after that downhill braking zone, and he's probably going to stay ahead of Zhou with a faster car. I don't even know if the Mercedes is actually faster than the Alfa on this game. I would assume it is, and obviously Hamilton a much better driver than Zhou Guanyu. But it is what it is. Now coming towards the final section, Hamilton right on our gearbox there. He pulls out. He looks to make a move down the inside, a very high-speed corner. Hamilton, he does get it. I didn't want to send it too much because we probably would have made contact there. And speaking of contact, we almost spin there. Zhou Guanyu, I just said the guy's a lunatic. He's just made contact with our rear tyre. Almost spun us out. Let's get a replay of that as Hamilton goes up the inside. Here comes Zhou. And fair enough, we got a bit out of shape. But Zhou, what is he thinking, trying to send one there? And there's contact between his front left and my rear right tyre. We sent one there on Alex Albon, but we made it stick. Unlike Zhou, as we almost made contact with him again. The guy is an absolute lunatic on this game. 99 aggression. Aggression's not even a stat on this game, but he's got 99 aggression. And we have DRS into turn 3. braking about 100 meters. Can we slow the car down, get a turn? Yes, we can. We will have DRS on Lewis Hamilton as well down this main straight. Can we pull a gap to Zhou Guanyu up from P14 on the grid to P12? It's still a gain of 2 places, which is nice to see. And of course, we still have pit stops to go. Anything could happen in this race. Safety cars, pit stops, people going with the 2 stops. Zhou into the pits, Vettel into the pits on lap 12 here, and we are nicely running in a good place. You know, lap 15, sorry, in P12. Stroll 7 seconds ahead. Ricciardo, and speak of the devil, and you shall receive. Safety car deployed. McLaren into turn 3 with an Alpine behind them. What's going to happen here? A big lock up, and that's the Alpine's front wing. And there's a contact between the AlphaTauri there as well. What has just happened? There's the Alpine going past with no front wing into this braking zone. I don't even know who locked up there. I think it was the McLaren locking up and just understeering straight into the Alpine around the outside as they tried to make an overtake there. Lost their front wing. A lot of debris on the track. It brings out the safety car. And we were about to pit the lap after this one, I do believe. So I decided to come into the pits now while the safety car's out. Free pit stop. Lance Stroll and Lewis Hamilton ahead, having the same idea. But we come into the pits now. Gonna go onto those hard tyres until the end of the race, providing nothing else happens. And we get a free pit stop under the safety car. Could this spice things up? It closes the pack again. We're going to be close. That 7-second gap, I think it was, to Lance Stroll is now going to be 0 because we're going to be right behind him, behind the safety car. Alonso, Ricciardo into the pits behind. I think Tsunoda was the AlphaTauri that was involved in that collision there as well. And you can see in the top left very briefly, Tsunoda 5-second penalty. When we'll check out if that was for that collision or if that's for track limits. Checking the incident, Tsunoda, severe collision with Ricciardo, 5-second penalty. Now, from watching it, I don't think Tsunoda was at fault there. You know, Ricciardo locked up, understeered into Alonso, and then just so happened to get my man caught up in it. But checking out the current drivers, the standings right now, George Russell in P3, Esteban Ocon in P2, both on medium tyres. They are yet to pit in this race. Our teammates in P16, he still needs to pit again because he's not changed compound of tyre. But George Russell and Esteban Ocon, they need to pit. We're currently sat in a net P10, so we are actually in the points. Once those 2 guys pit, they're going to be way behind us. Obviously, going to be like, what you lose, like 20-30 seconds from a pit stop. But getting our tyres up to temperature here for the restart. We get a decent restart, but look at the straight line speed, even of the Aston Martin in front of us. Using a lot of battery, pulling out into turn 1, up the inside. There's contact, wheel-to-wheel contact between us and Lance Stroll. That was a silly move from me, and we should have probably got another penalty for contact with an Aston Martin, but we sent it from downtown, all to play for, nothing to lose, and heavy braking into turn 3 to catch up to the back of Lewis Hamilton in P10. So we're currently in a net P9. Once the 2 cars in P2 and 3 pit. Our teammate comes into the pit, and there goes Ocon and Russell. And as you can see, we are in P9 and coming through turn 1. Look at this amount of cars again. This is just like what happened last time through turn 1. There's so many cars trying to make moves on each other. They all slow each other down. It allows us to catch up, use a bit of battery up into turn 3. There's so many cars ahead from way downtown on Pierre Gasly. Can we slow it down before we make contact with Lewis Hamilton having to jump the curb there? And obviously you can't overtake off track, so we allow Gasly to get that place back, because that would have been a bit unfair if we just jumped the corner there. Give some advantage back to Gasly, but look at this, it's Carlos Sainz, the car ahead of Hamilton, and a very slow car in front of Sainz there, slowing all of us down here. I don't actually know who that is. It looks like, I think it's one of the McLarens in front of Sainz, and then somebody else in front of them, slowing them down. I wish you could see right now the whole list of who was on the grid and see who that is, but it looks like Sainz making a move on someone. I've just seen him pull out at the top of the hill there, through the fast corner on the right hand there. Sainz does make a move. Somebody else into the pits there, by the looks of things, I think. Or have I just made that up? It looked like someone was going to the pits, and they have. It's Max Verstappen into the pits on lap 22. DRS is now enabled because it's 2 laps after the safety car, of course. And we're trying to catch Pierre Gasly. We won't have it for this straight here, but we should hopefully have it for the next straight. Currently sat in P8 with Verstappen into the pits, losing a position. Pierre Gasly, the car ahead in P7, extending his lead to 4 seconds on us. Yeah, 4 seconds is a gap that just, yeah, it seems impossible at this point in the race unless something another safety car, something happens like that. And Mick Schumacher, the car behind in a Haas, which is a lot faster than us, He's going to try and make a move now. Can he make it before even getting into the braking zone, or can we send it back from downtown? Well, not even from downtown, just up the inside. No, we can't. Schumacher round the outside. He's up into P8 now, pushing us down to P9, but we're still in the points with Zhou Guanyu behind, and there's a yellow flag on the main straight. One of the McLarens there, and it looks like a bit of damage to the front wing. Look at how weird that front wing looks. You'll see when the car comes to a stop. It looks like half of the front wing is missing. The front half, that's so weird. I've actually not seen that on this game before. Half of the front wing was missing, and that is Daniel Ricciardo out of the session. Lap 26, trying to catch up again to Mick Schumacher. We managed to put some time in, I guess, and catch up to Schumacher, get back within DRS range, and we're looking at gearbox wear still. You can see that in the bottom right, that little cursor, the little orange marker, it's gone dark orange now, which means it's even worse, where Sergio Perez into the pits on lap 27, soft tyres, we're up into P8. This is looking good, boys. We're looking, touch wood, we're looking like we could be on for points here. Zhou Guanyu 3.7 behind, and Ocon 8 behind. Now Ocon has caught us by the time we get to lap 33. Only 3 laps left in this race, showing how slow we were. We lost 7 seconds to Schumacher in front, and Ocon gained over 7 seconds from behind. If Ocon overtakes us, I will not be happy, because I don't like this guy. We're pushing him as wide as we can, but Ocon into turn 3, up the inside. Can we go around the outside? Just don't have the grip to turn in that corner, literally. And now, look, this situation is dire. This situation is dire. George Russell behind us in a Mercedes, and Max Verstappen behind him in a Red Bull. 2 very, very quick cars, and we're trying to chase down an Alpine. We're currently in P9. If those cars behind us catch us, we finish outside of the points. Are we going to be able to finish in the points still, covering off that inside from George Russell, so he doesn't decide to send one down the inside? Just 3 laps left in this race. Can we finish with points? We're in P9. I think it's only 2 points, but it would be 2 more points than we've ever got in this season. Or actually 1 more point, because we got 1 point in Canada. But still, can we finish in the points? It would have been a great weekend for us if we can get those points. All we need to rely on now is Max Verstappen, send them on George Russell.
Okay, bad news on the gearbox, I'm afraid. The team are trying everything they can think of, but they're not optimistic. Just keep at it, do your best, that's all we can ask.
And that's not what we like to hear. The team are looking at that gearbox wear, thinking there's nothing we can do. 72% wear. You told us we lost a gear as well. I don't actually know which gear we lost. I think it might have even been first, if I'm honest, because when I was downshifting, I didn't even notice it. But yeah, 2 laps left now in this race. Russell's still right on our gearbox, understeering through these fast corners, and there's a yellow flag from behind, and George Russell is off the track. Russell doing exactly what Alex Albon did before. Coming through now, you can see he gets out of shape on there. Bit of oversteer, he has to correct that. Then through the next corner, he's losing the back end again, corrects it, and then turns into the gravel instead of carrying on across the grass. I don't know why he's just done that. The AI are literally tapped on this track. But now Max Verstappen, the car behind. But what's going on in front of us? It looks like, oh, there's contact. There is big contact for the Alpine. There's somebody into the pits, one of the Aston Martin cars. Fernando Alonso is out of the session. Fernando with terminal damage. He's got to retire his car after that collision there between the AlphaTauri and the Aston Martin. So Fernando out of this race. Unfortunately, Fernando was behind us at the time that happened, so we're not going to gain a place on Fernando Alonso. But there goes Max Verstappen up the inside, and his contact. Verstappen, it turns into us. We've got damage to the front wing. Max Verstappen, the guy is crazy. But round the outside, can we stay ahead here? Verstappen on the medium tyres and the faster car. Who's going to come out ahead? We're fighting a world champion right now. Here's Verstappen, he gets on the grass, corrects it by steering straight into us. We've got damage to the front wing, our front left end plate is chipped. And there goes Verstappen now, looking up the inside into the final turns. He's not going to make that move, but we've got a damaged front wing now, but there's only 1 lap left. Verstappen into the pits. Verstappen must have taken some damage himself. He pulls into the pits with 1 lap to go. He's done that in the sprint race. He does it again in the actual race. And Verstappen into the pits. No threat now from behind, even though we have a damaged front wing. George Russell 3 seconds behind. He's probably going to catch us, and he has by the end of the lap. He's not going to be able to make an overtake though. Surely, there's 2 laps left. We've got a damaged front wing. Look at the understeer. Just don't have that front downforce at all. And we completely cover off the final apex. So George can't send one. We're going to cross the line, boys, in P9. What a result for the team there. 2 points. I know it sounds like nothing, but 2 points. That brings us up to 3 overall after that 1 point finish in Canada. What a weekend this has been. You know, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to call the video yet. Driver of the day, Lewis Hamilton, shout out to him. I don't even know what I'm going to call the video. Craziest sprint race you'll ever see, but This literally, what a weekend. So much happened. So many crashes, so many collisions, so much contact. So many random pit stops. Charles Leclerc wins the race, but who even cares about the race winner anymore? Carlos Sainz in P3. Who even cares? Charles wins every single race. He's broken. He's overpowered. He's a glitch. He's a cheat code. You know, it is what it is. But look at that. Who's that in P2? I don't recognise that guy. Valtteri Bottas in P2. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've said that. Been a long time since I've seen that. Valtteri Bottas on the podium and Alfa Romeo on a podium. When was the last time that happened? I actually don't know that stat. But yeah, shout out to Valtteri finishing P2 in this race here. Pretty sure he started P6 on a grid. So to get up to from P6 to P2, great result for Valtteri there. But what a crazy race weekend this has been. Literally, like the sprint race into this one, you see overall for the weekend we finish in P12, but for the actual race we finish P9. Our teammate Piastri finishing in P11 up from P20. Almost a double points finish for the team. Would have been great to see that, but unfortunately Piastri couldn't get it. Sergio Perez finishing P12, Verstappen finishing P16. What were Red Bull doing? And obviously the two Ferraris on the podium. But yeah, shout out to Valtteri there. What was Red Bull doing? They were pulling some sort of Ferrari strategy. Lewis Hamilton finishing P4 after starting P22 after his grid penalty. That's a great race from Lewis to come up from the back of the grid to finish P4. Of course, we started this weekend in P22 and we finished P9, so that's a great result overall for us. And as you can see, overall, including the sprint race, we finish in P12 with 2 points, and our teammate finishing P13 with 0, just behind us. But that brings our total points up, like I say, to 3, and we'll check out the standings in a moment. But here are the standings. Charles Leclerc is now 101 points ahead of Max Verstappen in the championship. Ridiculous. That brings us up above the two Aston Martins in the driver's standings. We now have 3 points. Lance Stroll, Sebastian Vettel only have 2. We're up into P16 in the drivers. Love to see it. No change to the constructors though, just 1 point behind Aston Martin. Could we finish P9 in the constructors? That would be huge. And boys, we've had a shocker. We've had a shocker. Contract renewal time with our teammate Oscar Piastri. The lad has been driving his heart out for us this season. He costs $2 million though. He wants $2 million to keep his seat in F1. We only have 1.23. There's not even room for negotiation. And I thought we could just advance until we get more money to get Piastri back as our teammate, as we change our gearbox there, by the way, because obviously it took too much damage. But I thought we could just advance, get more money, than sign Piastri, but it's forcing me to sign a teammate now. And the reason I got caught out is last year, on last year's game, the way the calendar worked, contract renewal was after Zandvoort, I'm pretty sure. So we hadn't had Zandvoort yet, and I thought we've still got France, Hungary, Spa, I think, to go before Zandvoort. So, like, why are we doing contract renewal now? Yeah, look, you can see there, the race is until the 21st of July, but we get money on the 18th of July, so why can't we just advance and get money? If there's no way around this, and we can keep Piastri as our teammate, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, we're going to have to sign some stinker, which is unfortunate, because I wanted to keep Piastri as our teammate for this first season. But that's going to be it for this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. You know the vibes. I'll catch us next time, people. Take it easy.